So good morning everyone, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching Drishti IAS. In this session, we'll be talking about the Indian Express newspaper. There will be certain article which we'll be discussing. We'll also take up the articles from Saturday and Sunday because it was a weekend and we could not do a live session over there. So we will be doing these articles and we'll be going up with the practice question first, and then we'll go for this discussion of these three articles. Along with them, there will be 4-5 other articles which we will discuss in the international relations, and then we will go to your section of for your own read where will be 2-3 articles for you to read. These articles are quite simple, okay. Then practice question for you in the last, okay. So let's start with the front page of the newspaper. Here you can see here temporary house in Germany, special horse feed, and how Olympic can pave road to Paris. Okay, so there is this experience of certain you can say players that has been discussed. For right now it is not of any use for our examination. Then day after Jammu and Kashmir encounters toll up 2 soldiers and 6 militants. Okay, so we'll be talking about this. We'll not go into details of it because obviously they will be telling you about how it happened and what happened over there, but the thing is what is important, where it happens and now what. Okay, and when they are getting these encounters, where are they getting this information from? So we will be talking about that. Okay, now moving further, and let's start with the practice question which was given to you in the previous lecture. Okay, which of the following country has borders with Belarus? We have talked about Belarus because Belarus is the latest member addition to the SCO. Okay, earlier it was an observer member and then now it has been converted into a full-fledged member, or it has given a place of status of full-fledged member in the SCO. Okay, then Russia, Ukraine, Georgia and Poland. Okay, so if we talk about the country which does not have a border, because in the last class itself I have made this particular correction over here. So it has border with Russia, it has border with you can say Ukraine, it has border with Georgia, Poland as well, but it does not have a border with Georgia. So option C would be our right answer. Let's have a look at the map here. So see, this is Belarus, here you can see this is Russia, then this is Ukraine, then this is Poland, Lithuania, Latvia. Okay, with Estonia it does not have a border. Okay, so basically with the Baltic country, if we see, it has border with Latvia and Lithuania. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Fine. Now let's move further and start with the first article of the day, that is related to budget on 23rd. Okay, boosting demand, key goals, GST rate cuts being explored. Okay, so basically what they are saying, that they will be going for the full-fledged budget on the 23rd July. When we are talking about the budget session, generally we see that session happens in the January, February, when we are talking about the end of the January and then February. So generally it happens like that, but since that time we have gone for the interim budget because our you can say outgoing government has passed the interim budget and they have said that in the next term the new government will come up with the full-fledged budget, and now this is the time we are waiting for the full-fledged budget in the next session that will start from I guess 22nd of July, and on the you can say 23rd we will be going up with the you can say budget over here. Okay, and before budget we go for the economic survey. You know that every year that is a you can say convention kind of thing, economic survey. Okay, and that will be there for the you can say 22nd. Okay, so budget session will start from July 22. When we are talking about the sessions of the parliament, okay, there should be more than at least 15 days of gap, so that is there. Now what are the important things which can be discussed in the budget this time? Obviously we will not be going into details because obviously when budget will come we will talk about the budget. Right now we are just having an idea what are we expecting from the government this time. So basically government has said that boosting demand is the key goal when we are talking about the new budget, and GST rate cut being explored over here. Okay, indirect versus direct tax cut rate. So basically what we are trying to do is that we are cutting the tax rates so that more and more money will be there in the hands of the people. Okay, if money is more, there will be more savings. If savings are more, that means that there will be investment, and when there is investment, that means that there will be a growth in the economy. Okay, so that is their cut in the indirect tax rates will benefit all, require state to be on board. Okay, other than that, a boost to consumption is seen as a crucial for reviving the economy. Okay, consumption means that you are trying to make sure that your economy is surviving on the people consuming the articles. Okay, or when we are talking about the consumption will increase when there is money in people's hand. Okay, so to increase the money supply, okay, what we are doing is we are going for the tax cuts. Okay, if the percentage of tax is reduced, that means that the person or the consumer has to pay lesser tax. That means that the price will come down, or otherwise he will have more money in his own hand so that he can pay for more things. Okay, so that is how they are actually thinking right now. Other than that, here you will see boost to consumption is seen as the crucial for reviving the demands, which in turn is central to restarting the investment cycle. Okay, one thing is demand, second thing is investment. Investment, as I told you, if savings are high, that means that people will go for saving, you can say, investments. Okay, especially rekindling the private capital expenditure in consumer focused sectors. Rationalizing GST rates will have a larger impact on the demand than cutting the direct cut rates. So basically, we are saying that we will be cutting the indirect taxes. Okay, when we are talking about the direct taxes, indirect taxes, these are very simple phenomena from the economy. When we are talking about direct tax, that means that the you can say the liability of payment is on that particular person. Like if we talk about income tax, the person is growing his income, he is earning the income, and he will be paying the tax on the income. Okay, then second thing is like when we are talking about indirect tax, so GST can be an indirect tax. So here the end consumer will be paying to the government. There can be various steps. Okay, so that is direct and indirect taxes. Now moving further, we'll be seeing the second article, which is related to your crop insurances. When we are talking about Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Suraksha Yojana, that is one of the, you can say, example of such you can say schemes which are talking about the investments. There are various you can say schemes with respect to the health investments, life insurance, sorry, not investment, insurance, health insurance, life insurance. These things are basically to make sure that you have a security. Okay, so basically, when we are talking about a country like India, developing country, we are actually not very much about this investment culture, insurance culture. But the thing is, now we are trying to enhance it. Government is coming up with various kind of you can say schemes, so that we can basically boost the you can say insurance. So crops insurance coverage drops in financial year 2024 as top 4 insurers cut exposures. Okay, so that is there. We don't need this. We will see why there is a drop. Okay, we will see what is this Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, gross direct premium underwritten by insurance declined by 4.17%. Again, this number is of no use for us right now. Now coming to this part, general insurance companies reduced their exposure to crop insurance under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana during financial year 2024, despite the government's push to expand the insurance coverage in the farm sector. Okay, now the thing is, what government does is, government has this thing in mind that they have to make sure the farmers are secure. Okay, whatever they are actually going for the cultivation, they get a price in view of that. But the thing is, when we are talking about the private players who were there in this market and they were going for the certain section to the Fasal Bima Yojana, but they have actually come for the lesser exposure to that. Okay, because of which there is a decline in the, you can say, insurance coverage. So there are, you can say, in the previous year, farmers faced crop losses due to floods, unseasonal rains, and heat waves. Obviously, Indian, when we are talking about the agriculture, that is more than dependent on the monsoon. If there is a deficit of the monsoon, there will be, you can say, certain issues. If there is a floods, that flash floods, otherwise also if floods are there and there is excess amount of water, that will also be problematic for the crops, because crops are supposed to survive in a particular climatic scenarios. There are certain conditions, there is certain temperature, certain water requirements, etc. All these should be there in within limits. Okay, if there is a lack of water, then there are crop failure. If there is a surplus of the water, because of which you can say crops are being damaged, that is also a cause of concern. Okay, other than that, there are various other climatic factors like temperature. Okay, when we are talking about the current year, we have seen heat waves all across India. Okay, so because of that also, we have witnessed that we have gone farmers has a crop failure. Okay, to secure farmers from such losses, these such unprecedented losses are there, and to secure farmers from that particular kind of losses, we have come up with the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, now fall in premium income underwritten by the AIC. This is the, you can say, when we are talking about the agriculture insurance companies. So that is there. Now the decline is mainly due to 32% fall in the premium income underwritten by the state-owned agriculture insurance companies. So basically, they are saying that because of this, since they have actually gone for the lesser of the exposure, and they have gone for the less of you can say such policies. So basically, because of which we have seen that there is a drop in the insurance coverage. Okay. Again, moving further, here you will see the, you can say, details of the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Now, important here is that when we are talking about newspaper reading, why newspaper reading is important for you. Whenever there is a situation where is certain kind of a scheme, or let's say some initiative of government that is in news, they will talk about the news first, and then they will come about the scheme as well. Okay, they will give you the important points of the scheme. So when we are talking about this particular situation wherein we have to actually focus on current as well as the static part, so basically they are doing it for us. Okay, so that is why newspaper is kind of a integrated source for a preparation. Now, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana provides a comprehensive insurance coverage against crop failure of the crop. Okay, so that is a simple comprehensive insurance coverage against the failure of the crop, thus helping in stabilizing the income of the farmers, and encourages for them to adoption of innovative practices. Okay, if at all, if we are going for any kind of new kind of seeds, etc., and farmers are skeptical about it, okay, then if they are attached with some kind of insurance, okay, even if there is a failure, you will get certain amount from the government. That means that you can say you are insuring the income of the farmer, and you are taking away the insecurities attached to it. Okay, so that is why such schemes becomes very much important. Okay, that is one thing. Moving further, here you will see the scheme is compulsory for the loany farmers. Okay, loany farmers means those farmers which has obtained loan in certain way. Let's say if there is some kind of crop loan scheme, or if there is a Kisan credit card, etc. Since they are already, you can say, part of the formal system. Okay, so that will be easy for us to go for that. Now again, the thing is, we don't have overall agriculture formalized. That is why this scheme is also for the non-loany farmers, but for the farmers who are basically under such schemes like crop loan or the Kisan credit card, etc. So going for the insurance is mandatory. Okay, so for the loany farmers, this is compulsory, and for the non-loany, this is basically voluntary. Okay, so please remember that. Now it's voluntary for the other or the non-loany farmers who have insurable interest in the insured crop. The maximum premium payable by the farmers will be 2% of all the kharif. When we are talking about the kharif crops, farmer will be paying 2% of the premium, and other will be paid by the government. And then if we talk about the rabi crop, okay, when we are talking about the rabi crops and the oil seeds, farmer has to pay 1.5% premium. Okay, and for the commercial crops and you can say fruits, etc., horticulture, in that case you have to pay a premium of 5%. Okay, I hope that is clear. So these information is important for you, for which kind of crop, how much percentage premium farmer is supposed to pay. For if we are talking about the kharif crop, that is 2%. For the rabi crop, it is 1.5%. Rabi crop involving, you can say, oil seeds as well. So that is 1.5%. And when we are talking about the commercial crops, like you can say your sugar cane, okay, cotton, etc. So when we are talking about the commercial crops, you have to pay for 5% of the premium. Otherwise, also for the horticultural crops like fruits, vegetables, etc., you have to pay 5%. Okay, I hope that is clear. Yes, reading newspaper by yourself will take a lot of time, because obviously when you are starting the newspaper, so you don't know which article is important for you. You will end up reading those articles which you seem that it is important, but again there is no you can say concrete information from your exams point of view. So that is why what we are doing is we are selecting the articles and then we are reading it. Okay, now when we are talking about this particular session, we will be discussing 3 newspaper, and obviously Saturday, Sunday newspapers are lengthy, but there are very less topics for you to read. Okay, so that is why this particular session we have started, and with the time and the practice, this will come to you as well. Okay, now coming back to the article again. So we have talked about this particular thing. Now to expand the coverage, now since as I told you, the agriculture sector fully is not formalized yet. Okay, it is not connected to the financial services yet. So that is why to expand the coverage of the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, there is this you can say particular app which has been launched, that is AIDE. Okay, AIDE. That is application for intermediary enrollments, okay, which allowed intermediaries to enroll non-loany farmers. Now basically intermediary mean that there will be a third person between the, you can say, this particular, when we are talking about the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, and then there will be this non-loany farmers, there will be a third person who will basically you can say enroll them online on these particular platforms, okay. So that is there. This initiative successfully engaged in insurance brokers and resulted in 71% of the farmers enrollment through the point of salespersons, okay. So basically this particular, you can say, initiatives has paid off well, okay. Now coming to the next part, that is basically another article which is related to the space in you can say GS3 of your syllabus. When we are talking about this particular article, this is related to a mission, that is Axiom 4 mission, okay. So important part of you can say aspect over here is that this is an, you can say, initiative of NASA, and for in that particular initiative you can say 2 Gaganyaan astronauts, you know that there are certain astronauts which has been selected from the Air Force and the Air Force for the training of your, you can say, for the Gaganyaan, and they have gone to Russia for the training, etc. All these things were there, and now these selected, out of these selected candidates, 2 candidates will be sent to this particular mission to International Space Station, okay. This mission is of NASA, and we are collaborating with them, and we are sending these 2 to ISS, that is International Space Station. That is for a kind of a, you can say, experience before you are also going. We have this particular mission, that is Gaganyaan, okay. So for the human space flight of India, that is Gaganyaan, for that we are going for this particular space experiment, okay. The Indian Space Research Organization has selected 2 of the 4 trained Gaganyaan astronauts to go to the International Space Station, and this is the, you can say, initiative is with the collaboration of the NASA, okay. The mission will take place no earlier than the October 2024, okay. So we are saying that we will be sending them in the October 2024, and then after that we are hoping that there will be Gaganyaan as well, okay. So that is there. Astronauts will have to go to the United States ahead of the missions to train on the specifics of the ISS. While they have the general training of spacefaring, much of their training in India focused on the Gaganyaan modules. They will have to be familiarized with the International Space Station's module, okay. Since these astronauts which are to be which will be going to the Gaganyaan, going with the Gaganyaan, and now they are going with the ISS. So why we are sending them to USA for the training? Because whatever experience or the, you can say, rehearsals or the trainings they have done, that is with respect to Gaganyaan. Gaganyaan has their own modules, their own working, and now they are going to the International Space Station. So to get customized by with the, you can say, equipments and the module over there, so you have to go to USA for that, okay. Now the Axiom 4 mission, which will take the Indian astronauts to ISS, is the 4th private astronaut mission of NASA and private US company, that is Axiom Space, okay. The mission is expected to dock with the ISS for 14 days, okay. Dock with the ISS means that there is already, you can say, a unit of International Space Station which is there in the you can say space, and then now this particular mission Axiom 4 will go over here, and that will go and attach over here, and then your, you can say, astronauts will go and do the work they are required to do, okay. So I hope that is it. India's own human space flight mission is unlikely to take place before 2025, okay. The flight is still to take off. The first flight carrying humans will be launched only after 2 successful unmanned flights, okay. So basically in that particular, when we are talking about the Gaganyaan, there are 3 missions. 2 are unsuccessful unmanned flights, and 1 will be your human flight, okay. So that is there. Now Gaganyaan mission is India's ongoing project, send a 3-day manned mission, okay. So this is Gaganyaan mission, which we will be sending in the low Earth orbit of around 400 kilometers. So that is the altitude where we will be sending this particular spacecraft with a crew member of 3 members, bringing safely back them to India. So this is a mission where we will be sending humans back into the space, and then we will bring them back. As of now, India does not have such you can say technologies. As part of this program, there will be 2 unmanned missions and 1 manned mission are approved by the government of India. Then the success of the Gaganyaan will put India into the group of the nations, that is United States, Russia, China, having human space flights capabilities, okay. So basically this will be the first time we will be sending a particular you can say 3 of the Indian men to the space, okay. Now moving further, Objectives of Gaganyaan mission. The Gaganyaan mission is an ambitious and coordinated project of the ISRO in collaboration with other agencies such as the various research labs, India academia and the industries, and which with having following objectives. Okay, to undertake human space flight, obviously since we are sending manned flight, that is human space flight. Okay, so that is there. Second is to go for the space exploration. Okay, now why do we want to go to the have this particular capacity? Why do we want to have this particular capacity of human space flights? Because since there are few countries like USA, Russia, China, these are having such capabilities, and now if we go to the space with a man on board, that will give this particular, you can say, message to the community that we are capable enough. Okay, now moving further, gunfights in Kulgram. Okay, so there was this incident which has happened. We have got a tip, and there were certain, you can say terrorist activities, or the militants were there, and we have gone for the encounters. So here, while 2 soldiers including a para commando were confirmed killed in a separate encounter which broke out in Chinigam and the Modergam villages, both in Kulgram district of the South Kashmir, the militant toll rose to 6. We have lost 2 of our soldiers, and the militants were killed, that is 6 militants were killed. Now here you can say this is our union territory of Ladakh, this is union territory of Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir. Now here in the heart of it we have this Kulgram. Okay, when we are talking about Kulgram, here this particular encounter has happened. Now the thing is, after such activities of the militant activities which are increasing, now there are the locals there are also supporting, and with the support of the locals and the information gathering from the locals, we have got to know about this particular activities which are going over here, and then we have gone for the encounters. We have earlier as well talked about this issue of Jammu and Kashmir and the LOC border related issues and infiltration related issues, and I told you that in 2000 and 2005 at that point of time also we had a good local support from there, and because of which we could eliminate with the help of the local support and the our defense services, we were able to eliminate these particular militant elements from that particular area, and there was nearly you can say peace for like 15 years in that particular region. And after that, after the Galwan issue which has happened, our focus was diverted to LAC, and because of which these activities are again starting in this particular region, because they have got the opportunities because of the void when the redeployment of the forces happened to the towards the LAC. Okay, I hope that is clear. So this area, one more thing I would like to tell you, that this is basically area where you have Pir Panjal ranges as well. Okay, so this is the area, here you can say Rajouri Punch area is the area where we have Pir Panjal. Okay, so Kulgram is also in the vicinity. Moving further, next article is related to your international affairs and Rwanda deportation plan dead and buried. You know that there was these elections in the UK, and there is new you can say prime minister over there, and after that you can say the first act which he have done in the foreign policy, that is the migrants plan for the Rwanda plan for the migrants. So there are issues of the illegal immigration to their country, and in the you can say that from the various areas of the region. So there are various people who are going for the London dream, or you can say these people are going for the employment or to escape various you can say persecution which is happening. So they are coming to this particular country by legal and illegal means. So the previous prime minister has come up with the plan that they will be sending these illegal immigrants to Rwanda, and they will pay certain money to Rwanda. Okay, that plan was almost certain, but the thing is there was a huge opposition from you can say various spheres of the public. Okay, so that is why the first act of the new prime minister was done, that is basically Rwanda deportation plan was actually scrapped. Okay, so that is there. Second thing is Indian origin MP is cultural secretary. Okay, so one thing you can remember, her name is Lisa Nandi, so that is there. And now moving to the next part. Second is related to your Iran you can say elections which has happened. When we are talking about Iran, you can say there was also elections, and a man who carries hopes for the Iranians seeking less curbs on the social freedoms. Okay, so there is this person whose name is Masood Pezeshkian. Okay, Masood Pezeshkian. So basically people are having this hope from this particular person. Okay, and the thing is they are hoping that he is kind of liberal. Okay, So that is why we have taken this article, because the thing is there was also elections which has happened. You know that there was the Iranian president, his which there was this plane crash, etc., and there was elections of the president. Okay, now for us what is important, that where Iran is located, and because they will never ask you the name of the president, etc., but the thing is they can ask you about the Iran, its geography, nearby areas, etc. So here you will see this is Iran. Okay, this when we are talking about the northern side, we have Caspian Sea. In the southern part, we have this Persian Gulf. Okay, and when we are talking about the countries with which it has borders, so you can see here we have Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan. Then this is the maritime boundary over here. Okay, this is Arabian Peninsula, and here you have Iraq, Turkey, Armenia and Azerbaijan. Now, when we are talking about Armenia and Azerbaijan, I would like to tell you about the Nagorno-Karabakh issues. Okay, so that issue has been in a contemporary issue. You can say that that is a you can say border dispute, or the you can say clash between these. There are certain areas for which there is a fight. Okay, so that is there. That is Nagorno-Karabakh issue. Okay, and this issue is not new. It has been there for like decades. Okay, so that is one there. That is between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and now both of them are having border with, you can say, Iran over here. Okay, so that is about the border. Now coming to various other aspects, here you can see we have this Strait of Hormuz. Okay, so that is important for us for the trade with Russia, that is there. Okay, other than that, if we are talking about this particular area, Persian Gulf, and coming to the Red Sea sector in the next part. Okay, so this area has been in news when we are talking about the area of West Asia, Middle East, etc. This is kind of a, you can say, favorite topics of UPSC, so please keep a tap on that. Okay, so now other than that, when we are talking about Iran, you know that we have this Chabahar project. Okay, so please remember that as well. Other than that, it is part of your you can say north south corridor which we are trying for the connectivity. Now moving further, next is related to France, because you know that there was polls in the France as well, and now there is this party, there is a situation of hung assembly which was there. Okay, so one, you know that there is this President Macron, he will be there, and other than that, there is when we are talking about the this you can say elections which has happened. So here we will see France was of course on the course of hung parliament in Sunday's elections, with leftist alliance unexpectedly taking the top spot in the far right. Okay, so basically right now when we are talking about these particular elections, the exit polls are saying that the extreme left is basically they are trying to form a government, because there is no clear majority situation right now. The outcome, if confirmed, will leave parliament divided into three big groups. One is there will be three big groups. One is under Macron, there will be these left and the centralist. Okay, so that is there. Here you can see Macron stays on, but the turmoil ahead. The lack of majority for any single party has plunged France into political and the economical turmoil. The deeply unpopular Macron has lost control of the parliament according to the projections. The far-right national rally drastically increased the number of seats in the it holds in the parliament, but failed far short of the expectation. So basically they are not getting any majority. Then France now faces the prospect of weak political mechanism to determine who will be the prime minister and lead the national assembly. So basically these elections are for the prime minister. Okay, then moving further, Macron faces the prospect of leading the country alongside the prime minister opposed to the most of his domestic policies. Now the thing is, the President Macron over here and the new prime minister, they are of the different parties, so there can be a clash over there. So that is why they have said that Macron stays on, but turmoil ahead. Okay, so there is kind of a political turmoil which we might face in the France. Okay, so that is about it. Other than that, right now if we are talking about the elections in the France, we don't have to go for the understanding the process, etc. over there, but the elections of UK which has happened, and that would be important for us, because the process are you can say that mostly similar. Other than that, when we are talking about USA's elections, that will also be important for us, so keep a tap on that. In case of Iran, we don't have to worry about the election processes in the Iran. Okay, just know that what kind of government is there. Okay, now moving further, new US aim at Russia's oil revenue caused angst over the fuel prices hike before the polls. Okay, so you know that in USA we are expecting there will be polls, etc. You can say there will also be voting. Okay, in that particular, you can say amid all this election campaigning, etc., which is going on right now, when we are talking about USA, or the President Biden, they have actually gone for, they have actually seen that the Russian oil is something from which they are deriving money. So they are trying to make sure that how the this particular oil deals or the oil you can say export from the Russia can be impacted, so that their revenue from that particular oil source can be, you can say, restricted, so that the war affairs in the Ukraine can be curtailed. Okay. The thing is, when we are talking about the Russian oil, Russia is you can say giving potential discounts, etc. So that is one thing. Anyway, let's talk about the article. Officials in the President Biden's Treasury Department have proposed new actions aimed at crippling the fleet of aging oil tankers that are helping deliver Russian oil to buyers around the world in the defiance of the Western sanctions. Okay, we know that there are Western sanctions which are there, and because of which they expected that there will be economical trouble which will be happening in Russia, but because of the policies and the Russian oil reserves, so they are actually still dealing in the oil, and because of which they are having this particular revenue sources. Okay, in an attempt to drain Russia of the money needed to fight this war in Ukraine, the US and its allies has immediately imposed penalties and taken other novel steps to limit how the Moscow earned from the selling the oil abroad. Okay, so basically they are looking for another you can say restrictions which with which they can actually curtail the oil deals with the Russia. Okay. Russia has found ways around those limits. So basically Russia has offered certain kind of lucrative discounts, and because of which countries are actually going for the such deals with it. When we are talking about the countries like China, North Korea, these countries are actually helping Russia in their efforts. Okay, even India is going for the deals with Russia, so that is there. By targeting you can say so-called shadow fleet of the tankers that is allowing Russia to sell oils around the globe, there is $60 per barrel price cap which has been imposed by USA in 2022. Basically, so they have said that there is the limit, that's $60 per barrel. Okay, so that was the limit which was actually kept on Russia, that is the amount which you can charge for a particular barrel. While official wants to knock these tankers out of the commission, advisors in the White House worry that that would be a risk in influencing the oil prices, because these old you can say containers through which this particular tanker, through which this particular trade is happening, if you get them out of the service, there are other countries which will also get hampered, and if there is a demand which increase in the market, so there will be artificial price rise in the market of the oil. So that is not in interest of any particular country. Okay, so that is there. That is about this article. Now moving further, for your own read, there are 2-3 articles when we are talking about the you can say Earth Moon system and the okay, so we have this particular positions when Moon is actually revolving around the you can say Earth. This is your Earth. Okay, so basically in that particular case we can say that there is a situation wherein Moon will be in the closer vicinity of the Earth, and there will be a situation when Moon will be the further from the Earth. That is basically called aphelion, that is when Moon is far from Earth, and then perihelion, that is when Moon is basically near to the Earth. Okay, so you can go through this particular article. The point farthest from the sun in the path of orbiting, sorry, there was this confusion. I was telling you about the Sun and the Earth system. Sorry, Sun and the Earth system. Similar system exists in the Moon and the Earth as well, because obviously when we are talking about the planet and their satellites, so this is how it works. Okay, so this is your Sun and this is your Earth. When Sun is in the closer vicinity, that is basically called the perihelion, that is when Sun is, or you can say Earth is near to the Sun, and then this situation where Earth is farthest from the Sun, that is called your aphelion. So these are the two things which you can go through this particular article. Okay. Why we are talking about this particular thing? Because recently we have witnessed that we have experienced a, you can say, Earth reaches the aphelion every July. So recently we will be witnessing this particular thing. So that is why there was this article. Now moving further, second is the vital importance of Putin. Okay, so there was this Russia visit. Okay, and when we are talking about this particular visit, India Russia ties, etc., we have talked about this particular thing. But the thing is now with that particular visit of 8th to 9th July, so there are certain things which you can discuss. We will be discussing that particular article in news program. Okay, now moving further, last part, that is practice question for the prelims. Which country does Iran share its longest border, land border with Iraq, uh, Afghanistan, Turkey and Pakistan. Okay, so you can go through this particular question and answer in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, have a good day. Thank you.